I'm going to give you a real quick down and dirty run through, 5 minutes here, talking about your website, some of the things that need to be improved with it, and some of the things that your competitors are doing, right, that's making the difference. So first things first, looks like this website is built on Vistaprint. Didn't even know they built websites. Not the best platform to be optimizing it, getting it searched and seen. Second thing here is there's very little content mentioning, about what you do and where you do it. If it's not written on your website, Google doesn't know about it. Your customers don't know about it. Dave was mentioning that you were getting calls from like pretty far away. I'm guessing it's because you're ranking for some like really weird or like long specific term, like maybe Trex decking or something like that. But the only spots on your site that talk about, where you work, it's like this says Southern Wake County in North Carolina. Like if you Google that, Google doesn't really fully understand where that's at. Like they're pulling up things that have that name in there, like South Wake Landfill. Not exactly the best thing to be associated with. And I think at one point you have like one little spot that mentions like Holly Springs and like Fuquay Varina and stuff like that, right? Like I know you have these here, but you don't have dedicated pages. You're not mentioning a lot about the area. It's not really giving you a good opportunity, especially with being built on Vistaprint. The second thing that I want to show you about that I thought was really interesting is that you have two listings on Google Maps, which isn't a great thing. Like they're both listed, I'm going to guess these were created at different times. Like one is listed with you if you look at the top left here, where it says that you're listed as a GC, and the other one over here is you listed as a deck builder. Like I understand because they're technically two different things, but if we're just solely focusing on deck building, this isn't great. It's actually very detrimental to you. I'm very surprised that Google hasn't taken this down because like you have the same phone number listed on both these listings. You have the same website listed on both these listings, the same name. I'm sure it's because, you are also a GC, but Google doesn't understand that. They only try and limit these to one per person. You can work around that, which I recommend doing. But however, whatever way you got this set up, you're running a risk here of one of your listings getting absorbed by the other, and neither are performing that well. But if the one that is performing better gets absorbed by the other one, then that's it's only setting you back further, I guess is what I'm getting at. And you definitely want to focus on ramping this thing up here, because these are like antennas when you get these listings set up on a map here. And as you start to optimize it, do all that nerd stuff that I'm not going to go into too much, your marketing team should know about that stuff here. Like if you're giving Google what it wants, it's going to amplify that radius near where you're located, and that's what's going to get you searched and seen, right? So say if you planted your antenna in Holly Springs or down in Fuquay Varina, you're going to want to be having your website talking about what you do and where you do it, right? That was thing number one. Thing number two is going to be you're going to be needing a lot more reviews, which, this listing has reviews on it, which is great. And the third thing then is that you're going to want to be making sure that this profile is filled out and it's mentioning all the services, all the listings that you do, everything like that, and that you're posting on it, just giving it some TLC, right? So what I want to show you real quickly here, and then I'll end the video, it's called a heat map. And basically it's the easiest way to describe this tool. I was just telling you that we can compare these two antennas. This is going to show you the radius of your antenna. It's going to show you how well it's ranking, where it's ranking, who's seeing it, and where. And so what I mean by ranking, it's up with this listing right here. This is Google Maps. We love focusing on this for the people who we work with, because this is where at least 50% of traffic at this point for Google comes in through here. A lot of people will skip ads when they look up something. I just looked up deck builder Cary, be Holly Springs, Fuquay Varina, wherever, right? These are going to be the first listings that they see. So see, we have like TriPoint, JM Decks and Fence, Decks by all means. So when we're talking about like ranking, just to be clear, like so TriPoint is at the top here. This is ranked number 1. JM Decks is number 2 here. Decks by all means is number 3. When we look at your specific listing that mentions about being a deck builder, these are the results here. So we're not ranking in the top 3 over here, right? In fact, near probably where you service, where you live, you're down near the bottom, and if you're not in the top 3, most people aren't going to see you for it. Now, for comparison, if we go over to TriPoint, this is what their map looks like on here. And that's because if we take a look at their map listing here, one, they have Decks in the name, which is big. You don't, but it's like a company name thing on here too. they have a ton more reviews than you do, almost 10 times the amount. Your listing had 16, this has 133. They have their address showing out in Cary. Google did some things that not a lot of people are fans of, but long story short, if your address is showing, it's going to amplify the signal of your antenna here. And also too, their website has like a dedicated page for like decks. It has a dedicated page for screen and porches, right? So see like custom decks and rebuilds on here. And they have all this content talking about what they do and also discussing where they're doing it, right? For specifically in Cary. So they're ranking really well, but you can take this quick video here, send it over to your marketing team and let them know, hey, I need more content on my site. My Google business profile needs a lot of work on here. And for you, then it's just making sure that as you're talking with your customers that you are getting more reviews, because that's going to make a big difference with your business. So if you follow those 3 things, that's definitely going to help you. If you want, we can always set up a time to talk, have a 15-minute discovery call, see if there's anything else that I can do to help you. Thanks.